What is up, YouTube? The first card we're going to look at is Neptune. So, Neptune is a 7 mana, 5/5 in the Dragon region. It has fanfare. You have Crest, Judgment of the Blue Sea. Put 2 Orca onto your field. Number 1, you get a Crest. And number 2, you get 2 Orcas on your field. So, you will get 2 of these on your field. What do? They're basically 2 attack, 2 stamina, and they have charge. So, it is a 7 mana 5/5. You get 2 2/2s that both have charge. Decent. She has ward. Okay, 5/5 with ward. 2 attackers with charge. Okay. And there's a crest you get. When ocean followers enter the field, recover 1 from your leader. So that's any ocean follower, I'm guessing. And you're healing for 2. That's pretty interesting. And her Super Evolve gives you 2 Ocean Orcas on your field, which is these guys, right? You get 2 more of these on the field. So theoretically, you could Super Evolve her, heal for 4, and get 4 2/2s with Rush. That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. I like that. It's not Storm, chat. You're not pushing face damage with this. It's not Storm. These can't go face. This is a healing. This is a... You play this on board, you remove enemy units, and you heal. Very good for control. I'd say this is a very, very good control card. And in a pinch, you can Super Evolve and heal for 4. Again, you can compare this literally to, let's say, Olivia. In terms of healing. Instead of drawing, you get a lot of removal. I think it's a great card. And also, you do have this... I don't know what other Ocean followers there are, but maybe there's going to be more Ocean cards you can play along with it. Yeah, great. Rampant board clear. Amazing. All right. Moving on. Charon. So, it is a 5 mana 4/4 in the Abyss region. Okay, legendary. And it has the following. Fanfare. Reanimate 2 and reanimate 1. So already I'm thinking of the charge 2/2 unit. Pretty strong. And reanimate 1. It'll depend what 1-drops you play. Okay, interesting. I mean, bats are in the pool at that point. Any normal 1-drops are in the pool. Interesting. Worst case scenario, you get skeleton back. When your dead followers enter the field, they gain ward. Ooh. Okay. So by dead followers, I assume anything that's reanimated counts. Does this count undead units like ghosts and skeletons, though? The same way that, is it Departed? This might just be Departed. Yeah, that makes more sense. So skeletons or ghosts gain ward. Interesting. So it's like a Mukon card, but instead of giving it Bane, it's ward. It's not as good as Mukon because ghosts are temporary. They die at the end of the turn, which means, unfortunately, you can't keep the ghosts with ward. They'll just die. The ward is useless. But on skeletons, it's very good. And we know there's a lot of ways to generate 0-cost skeletons in Abyss. So if you're playing Control Abyss, man, this looks really fun for Control Abyss. Because of that, you can play like 3 skeletons. You have 3 1/1 wards. Pretty solid. I like that. It's good curve. Would I play a card? Maybe. The reanimate's kind of cool. It doesn't cost you any bodies. How good of a turn is it? Like, mana 5, you just drop this down, and you get back a 2/2 charge, you get back a, let's say, 1/1 skeleton or a bat. Yeah, it's not bad. It depends on what she does when she Super Evolves. So Super Evolve, you gain Crest of the Fallen Underworld. And this Crest, on a countdown of 2, says, at the start of your turn, perform Reanimate 3. Wow! That's a lot of Reanimates. And that's twice. Huh. Although that is a Super Evolve, right? So, it's not a normal Evolve. And you don't really Super Evolve on 5. You can do it on 6 if you have coin. Like, I'm not sold. Yeah, and it's also at the start of your turn, right? So you don't even get it the turn you Super Evolve. Here's something to consider. That can be very interesting. So let's go to the game really quickly. And let's go to cards. So, if there are 3 mana... I mean, there are 2 mana reanimates with Storm, right? We know that for a fact. But let's go to Abysscraft real quick. This card right here, it works with it. As long as you didn't have any 3-drops that died, you can reanimate this guy at the start of every turn, right? That's not bad at all if you're playing something like Cerberus, because they can't remove it. It's a guaranteed unit on board. But then again, you have to waste a Super Evolve to do it, which I'm not a big fan of. Also, reanimating her does nothing because she doesn't get her fanfare effect either. It's countdown 2, correct. So, I mean, you could, technically speaking, you could play her, right? Super Evolve her and then set up the 2/2 Storm to happen on your turn when you play Cerberus. He doesn't have Storm and Reanimate. Oh, he doesn't? Well, that just sucks then. Then who are you reanimating? Like, who's the really good reanimate? What 3-drops do you have that are just busted on this? I wouldn't say this is busted. Not really. Bonemancer? Nothing. The 4/3, maybe? Yeah, I'm not a fan of the card, honestly. I mean, I guess you could, like, curve it out just to get free 4/3s, but again, they don't have Storm. Without Storm, those cards kind of suck. Yeah, I'm not sold. Like, the Reanimate 1 and 2 is much stronger overall. It can be cool just to play her normally. And as long as these reanimates, the 2 and the 1 are departed, let's say you had no 2-drops and they're all zombies and, like, skeletons. I guess you get a lot of wards for free. Sure. I think there might be new cards coming out that fit really well with this. Maybe there's a really strong 3-drop coming out. That could be the case. So, who knows? Hard to say. For now, I'm not sold. All right. Laura Cruel War. 3 mana, 3/2 from Abyss as well. Okay, 3 mana drop. There we go. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is what we needed to see. Fanfare. Select an ally following the field and give it Bane. Actually, if you set up Reanimate this for free, what can you use this on and give Storm to? Like, you could make it that this comes back for free, and then you could Super Evolve this to get something else Storm. Medusa. Wow, that's 15 to face. That's actually 15 to face, chat. Hear me out, because you have to waste both Super Evolves, but on 5, you Super Evolve the chick. On 6, you do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. On 7, you Super Evolve her into the Medusa you drop. Oh, wait, you can't evolve Medusa and Super Evolve in the same turn. It doesn't work. Yeah, you can't. No, I'm not sold. All right, moving on. We have Carnelia, Afterglow of Darkness. 2 mana, 2/2 from Forestcraft. Okay, Fanfare, add a Gear of Remembrance to your hand. And select an artifact follower in your hand. Give it Ward. And the following effect can't be destroyed by effects. Interesting. What is an artifact follower? This is Portal. Okay, this is a Portal card. Oh, I missaw the 2 mana from Portal. Okay. So, she gives you a Gear of Remembrance. That's already good. That's already very useful. For a 2/2. Sure, I like that. And select... You can give Ward to a follower, and it cannot be destroyed by effects. How strong is that? Doomrite being permanent is pretty good. Bane can't kill it. Medusa can't kill it. Bildo can't kill it. It competes for Alouette Evolve. I mean, sure. That's solid. I don't hate it. I also like the fact that you can give it Ward. It's kind of cool. Although, who would you really give Ward to? Like, the 3/5, maybe? Guys, you say it's bad, but you got to realize, just being a base 2/2 for 2 mana that gives you a free gear, that's not bad. Like, it does what it needs to do. If we go to cards for Portalcraft, double look here. Like, we already run stuff like Ironheart, right? Just for the Gear of Ambition. Right? I mean, we already run stuff like Electric Whiplash, literally, just for the Gear of Ambition. She doesn't even have an Evolve, and she's a 2 mana 1/3. So what's wrong with that card? Am I missing something here? She does the exact same thing. She's a 2 mana 2/2. You can't play on curve. Of course you can. You just drop her on 2. She gives you a gear. You can play her on curve. 2/2 is better stat line than 1/3. Yeah, I mean, I think it's solid. I think it's playable. And versatility is always nice. It is. I like versatility in games. We have Aether of the Sky. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is Haven, right? Haven, 7 mana 2/4. Giga understated. horribly understated. It's going to have a crazy effect. I can already smell it. I smell the effect. Fanfare. Summon 3 random, differently named followers from your deck that cost 3 or less. All right, I don't even know what that is, but that sounds insane to me. Let me explain why it sounds insane. Let me explain why this is broken. You don't need to run 1 and 2 drops because you already have Winged Statue, Serene Sanctuary. You have, where is it? This 2-drop right here. You have Pact of the Beast. None of these need to be run. That means you can guarantee pure 3 drops to drop out of your deck. You can play for a Holy Shield Maiden, which is usually not playable, but you can play it because you need 3 different ones, right? You can play, let's have a look here, what else you can play. New 3 mana, 2/4 ward. True. The new legend. Whenever an ally follower with ward enters the field, give it... Oh, you mean with Wilbert? I mean, yeah, sure, of course. It combos nicely. More important than 3-drop, also Ding Dong is huge here. Like, if this brings in Ding Dong, that's a free draw, keep in mind. So, forgetting about that, let's look at neutrals as well. So for neutrals, Ding Dong is huge. Especially if you've already sacrificed the legendary, where all of your ward units get more. So Ding Dong is very good. Just free draw card. 3 mana, 3/3. Technically speaking, maybe playable, I don't know. I don't think this is a great card, though. Yeah, I guess 2 drops is where it's at, then. Box of Purity, I'd probably play it. Like, this card is back, right? So, yeah, this card is excellent. I like this card a lot. And we've not even seen the Super Evolve. What does he have? Give all other ally followers in the field plus... Oh, baby! Aura? How dare you? How dare you give them aura? How dare you give them aura? Interesting. What does aura do? You can't target stuff with abilities. So, that's really cool. Mainly because you can now play this to protect other units that are very important to your deck. Like, if you have an important unit coming back, you give it aura, it's very annoying. Stickiest board ever. Yeah, this literally bricks Roach decks as well, because Roach relies on clicking on units nonstop. With, like, target abilities. Yeah, this card is really strong. It's such a versatile card, because you don't need to Super Evolve it. Just dropping this down, it's 4 units on your board. This vomits units. And all of those units will have ward, usually, if you're playing, like, a control deck. So, it just buys you so much time. Oh, man, this is great. I love it. This card is awesome. Also from Heavencraft. It is a 5 mana 3/4 with Storm. Interesting. We have another Storm card from Heavencraft. I didn't expect that. Strike. If there are at least 2 allied amulets on the field, destroy a random enemy follower other than the opposing... What? But what if you strike face? I guess target it just kills a random unit. That's actually really decent. That's really useful. It's a 2-for-1 without evolving. Like, that's solid. And if you can just 1-for-2 without evolving as well. If you like it's very rare for people to have like 3 units on board on mana 5. And even if they do, like let's say you're facing Swordcraft, right? Let's say on Swordcraft they play their 4 mana, summon 2 2/2s, and he becomes a 6/6. Well, fine. No problem. You can 50/50 it. You can buff this with you. There's a lot of things you can do. Wow, Heavencraft is looking so fun for the expansion. I'm super, super psyched to play it. I'll probably put out a little bit more like heal to win deck videos in the next few days because I'm playing that deck a lot. But I definitely want to build a deck with these new cards. This looks like an absolute pleasure. So we have Zwei, Symphonious Heart. It is a 5 mana 3/3. It is legendary. And it is in the Portalcraft region. So you can see this is a puppet deck card. Let's see what it does. Fanfare Summon Victoria. Okay, so it has a fanfare. It summons a unit. And whenever an allied puppetry follower enters the field, give it ward. Oh. So no Super Evolve. It turns your puppets into wards. So playing Orcus, you turn your puppets into removal. And you turn your puppets into face damage. This turns your puppets into wards. So it's like a defensive card. And it does summon a unit. So let's see what Victoria is. She's a 3 mana 6/1 that gets summoned. Keep in mind, we did see a card that brings back 3-cost followers that died. Victoria is a 3 PP 6/1 legendary Portalcraft puppetry follower token, and she has Rush. Isn't this card just broken? Or am I insane? So 5 mana 3/3 generates a Rush unit that kills anything. And whenever you summon puppets, they get ward. Now, here's the little weird thing about puppets. Why would you want ward on puppets if puppets die end of turn? Can somebody explain that to me? I mean, I guess it's for 1 turn. Just to stall 1 turn. Yeah, sure. I could see it. And she has no evolve. Is this like one of the first legendaries that don't have an evolve at all? Wait, what is this? Rush follower strike. Wait. What is this? Wait. These are 2 different things? So, wait. This has quick attack? No way. That's so busted. That's so broken. This removes any unit in the game. So you play a 5-drop that summons a 12/1, basically, that removes any unit in the game. Wow. And it lives versus basically everything. That's so much value. That is such a strong card. Because you have to remove it, right? You play this, you have to remove it. You don't have a choice. And you can also, like, protect it by just dropping, like, a few 1/1 zombies, puppets on the board that have ward all of a sudden. And now it's hard to remove. Wow. Like, imagine you're playing versus fairies, and you drop, like, you play this into 2 0-cost puppets. Well, now they have to sacrifice their fairies into 0-cost puppets for no reason, just to get rid of this. Oh, but that's true. This gets ward as well. So you can't really protect this. That's a good point. That's true, yeah. This is a puppet as well. You are correct. Still very strong. I would not say it's broken, though. I don't think it's broken. I mean, it kind of is, though, because... Okay, here's the thing. Let me give you guys my viewpoint. In the game of Shadowverse, if you can ever clear boards without using an evolution, you're so far ahead of the opponents. That's why we're running William these days. Like, I tried cutting him before, but saving your evolve points is so important. If you can ever get rid of your opponent's minions or units or board states without spending evolutions, you're winning the game. If you ever have 2 evolutions left, your opponent has none, you've already almost won every time. And this kind of does that, right? This kind of helps you do that. It gets rid of one gigantic enemy without problem. Like, it is just really, really efficient removal. Is it broken? I don't think it's broken, but it's pretty damn good. So, great card. I like it. All right. Let's go to the next card. The next card is a spell. Looks pretty cool, actually. Another puppet card. It is called 6 PP. Okay, 6 points to play. Gold Portalcraft spell. Summon a Lloyd and Victoria. Oh, wow. So you get to summon this, which is already busted. And you get to summon a... No way, dude. I hate Lloyd so much. I hate Lloyd so much. I hate this card, chat. I actually hate this card. I hate Lloyd so much. You guys don't understand how annoying this is, because now you actually can't target the Victoria either, because you have to get through Lloyd. Right? Lloyd supersedes ward. Well, this doesn't have ward. Right? It doesn't have ward because you're not playing it with the 5-drop. So this is wardless. This just goes crazy. He doesn't have Bane. That is true. That is a good point. But she basically does, right? So you summon a Lloyd who protects her on the board. But it is 6 cost as well. How strong is it to be able to play 6 mana summon Lloyd? How strong is that? 6 mana slot is super contested. It kind of... is it though? Like, what does Portal do in 6 mana? It plays the 6 cost draw 2, right? Or heal 4. Other than that, though, what do you do as Portal on 6? Sylvia? Who's Noah again? Remind me? Oh, yeah, the puppet guy. I was thinking more like in the lines of artifacts. Yeah, the puppet guy is pretty strong on 6. That's true. Yeah, the 5/6, yeah. How do we feel about this card, guys? What do you guys think? I'm not sure. I feel like it might be a little bit too slow. It's good. Is it? I actually don't know. She has Rush, yes. She does have Rush, but Lloyd doesn't. I actually don't think it's that great. I like the Legendary a lot. But her? Like, I think this card might be too slow. I think it doesn't do enough. Like, Noah's a better card. There's no question about that, right? Wait, is Noah better, though? Okay, let's compare this to Noah. So what does Noah do? Noah gives you 3 puppets that all do 2 damage each, and you have a 5/6 face on board. On the other hand, this is the same cost. You get Lloyd on board, which is kind of a really good body. It's similar to Noah's body. It does only have 1 damage, but he gives you very useful effects, which is basically Spell Taunt. He protects your board if you have a board. And furthermore, you get removal. This is arguably in some scenarios stronger than 3/0, 2/0 puppets, whatever. 2/0 cost puppets. Noah can, yeah. The big thing about Noah is you can remove multiple units, correct? Like, you can kill a lot of units with Noah. This kind of can't. I mean, of course, I guess one big target, this is way better than Noah is. Like, by far. But how often do you run into one big target on 6? I'm trying to think of the matchups. So, let's say versus Rune, right? You run into Gria, whatever her name is. Well, you got to get through the 5/5, right? To do anything. So, this is worse. Against Portal, they have 2 units. Usually. When they summon Artifact Girl, you kind of need Lloyd again. Against Haven, it's nice versus Haven, probably. Is it even, though? I don't think Haven cares too much. Because Haven just plays a 3-cost card, deal 3 to everything. The 6-cost card, deal 3 to everything. And they don't really care. Like, Haven does AoE. I don't think Haven cares that much about Lloyd. Noah also is very good for setting up lethals with 0-cost cards in hand. Yeah, I'm going to say this card is, for now, okay. You know what would make this card really strong? If you had, like, ways to bring these back somehow, but that's more of an Abyss thing, right? To revive dead units. Lloyd is a rune counter. I'm trying to think if it is. The thing is, like, if this was a 5-cost card, I would agree with you. But it's not. It's a 6-cost card. Now you're talking about, this is running into Kuons, this is running into Williams, and all these cards don't care about that. If it was 5 mana, yeah, you drop this and they have 5 mana to counter it. That's really annoying because you can't really get mega value with, yeah, I don't know. I mean, even at 5 mana, though, you still trade with, like the 5-drop, right? Gria, right? You ping Lloyd, he's out to 3. You hit Lloyd with your Gria, she takes 1 damage, and you sacrifice your 5/5 into the 6/1. And you have a 6/5 remaining on the board. Because, again, Lloyd doesn't have Bane. Yeah, I'm not sold. I'm not sold. I'm trying to think of, like, a very... So, looking at this card right here, it makes me feel like I want to play a very control-y version of Puppets. Just, like, value version of Puppets. And can this fit in some kind of, like, control deck where you're not necessarily looking to maximize face damage? I don't know. I don't know if it fits. I think it's too slow. Because most decks don't go super vertical, right? Lloyd stops Albert. I mean, okay, sure. But at that point, like, you're talking about, you've already played Orcus, right? Like, you're not playing this on mana 9. Apollo blows her up, that's true. I think this card is just eh. I think it's going to be hard to fit it. But let's wait to see more cards to come out. Maybe it will fit somehow. Maybe there's, like, some legendary that hasn't come out yet that we're not aware of. Jnikur and Jafnhar. Twin gods. You can see they're upset about their names, by the way. And it is a 2-mana 2/2 in neutral. Ooh, we have a neutral 2-mana 2/2. Okay, okay. I love seeing neutral cards because you can fit in any deck. Let's have a look. Enhance 5, Evolve this follower. So on mana 5, it's a free 5 mana, 4/4 rush. Okay. Last word of this follower was evolved. Deal 4 damage to a random enemy follower. That's not bad. It's not bad. It's actually solid. I can see myself playing this card. So you put this card in decks that require a lot of 2-drops. For example, Olivia really loves 2-drops. It feels really, really good. Yeah, I can see this being very good for curve. You can also fill in the 5 mana slot if you have trouble, right? Only issue is it doesn't trade into Anangria. If it was a 3/3, for example, this card would be broken because it literally counters Anangria. Anangria drops on the board. Well, you drop this, sacrifice yourself to the 5/5, and it kills Anne afterwards. But yeah, 4/4, still not bad. Especially, it does sometimes counter her because they usually use the unit that has a shield to kill something. So it's almost never at 5 HP. And then Anne usually swings as well. She's like 4. Yeah, solid. I don't think it's broken though, but some decks will probably want to run 1 or 2. Alright, not bad. Next card we have is a gold Runecraft Mysteria follower. First of all, Runecraft is my main deck, so I'm excited. I have not seen this. It is a 3 mana 3/3. By the way, Runecraft just doesn't have 3-drops. It doesn't have it. It only has draw on 3. It has ward. That's not bad. Clash spell boost your hand. Evolve draw 2 followers. That's broken. This card is insane. This card is insane. First of all, if you evolve, you are clashing. That means evolving it will give you a spell boost, which is kind of nice. Second of all, drawing 2 followers is amazing because every single unit in spell, in a spell version of Runecraft is amazing, right? Every one of them is great. Wow. And the fact that it's 2 followers is even better because now you can actually play a very greedy deck in Rune where you play less followers, more spells. Because the biggest issue in Rune with playing too many spells is you don't draw your followers, and you need followers in this game. Wow, that's so good. And like, if you haven't drawn your Cactus and you're like 15 cards away, it's almost guaranteed to draw him. And not only that, it gives you ward. I mean, what else could you want? I love this card. This card is insanely cool. Okay, maybe it's not broken, but it's very good. And I can see this card even be absolutely busted beyond belief if there is ever a deck in Rune where you run like 3 or 4 followers and that's it. Because then this can tutor stuff that you need for combos. So, yes, this can go absolutely insane. Because imagine a deck where you're playing, for example, Cactus, Declimb, and 38 spells, right? And that's all you want. You just want to find your Cactus and your Declimbs, and you can just spell your way to victory. Well, this helps you draw the Cactus, for example, because you don't want to have 2 Cactuses in the deck. Or there's stuff like that can happen. Overall, amazing follower. A lot of potential with new cards, especially in future expansions. And even in the current setup, 3-drops are really nice. And Rune doesn't have a 3-drop, so solid. Rune almost always just draws on 3. Awesome. All right. Next card. Let's have a look. We have a legendary Dragoncraft follower. This is the only card that I've seen so far. It's an 8 mana 4/4. Half the cost of all cards in your deck. Oh, wait. This is not what I read. I thought it was in your hand. Wait. I thought it had the cost of your cards in your hand. It's in your deck. Because I was going to come here and tell you guys how absolutely broken this is. That this card is in like one of the craziest cards I've ever seen in my life. But it's not in your hand. It's in your deck. It's too slow. Wow. Wow. I thought it was only in your hand. Because if you get half the cost of your cards in your hand, there's some absolutely ridiculous combos you can do that turn after. But that's not the case. Wow. Now, if this was a Rune card, a Runecraft card, this would be broken beyond belief because you do this into Declimb and you just win the game on the spot. but Yeah, in Dragon, it's too slow. I don't think you can ramp into this. Although, hear me out. There is an argument that if you've ramped properly, dropping her on 8 and then playing the 9 mana, reduce everything's HP by 9 into Super Evolve, draw 2 cards is not that bad. Like, that's not a bad combo. If you have the 9 cost coming after to both clear the board, reset advantage, and then draw 2 as well. Right? Draw 3. Sorry. Thank you. Draw 3. That's not that bad. But can you really afford to go mana 8? Dropping a 4/4 for all your mana? You can't versus Swordcraft. You can't versus Forest. Well, actually, versus Forest, maybe you could, because Forest is on mana 5. If you ramped into it, maybe. You can't into Abyss. You can't into any tempo deck. Yeah, I'm not sold. But, potential. Potential. If they haven't... It's just that the ramp cards themselves are already so expensive. 3 mana to ramp. You're so far behind on tempo that you actually have to catch up that tempo. So you have to have enough HP to be able to just give up mana 8. I'm not sold, but... I'm not going to say it's trash tier. It looks to me like it's meme tier, but it could be okay. It could be okay. Especially depending on the meta and how fast the meta is. Because I think the meta is going to slow down a lot. We've seen a lot of defensive cards. Like, that's what we've seen. We've seen almost no aggro cards. We've seen the 3 mana card from Abyss that's giving Storm. That's the only aggro card I've seen. Everything else has been super delay, slow, you know. And if the meta gets really slow, this card could be very good. Because it's a very grindy card, right? So maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sold yet, but maybe. Alright, we'll see. Moving on next. We have 3 more cards, I believe. We have Swordcraft, Rosé Princess Knight. Okay, 3 mana, 3/2. Swordcraft. Enhance 5. Draw a Swordcraft follower that costs 2 or less and set its cost to 0. Okay, it has Rush as well. And it has Follower Strike. If the opposing follower is damaged, destroy it. This is really good. Does she survive if she destroys it? She doesn't die, right? What is the wording on Medusa? Okay. Follower Strike, destroy the opposing follower. So, let me explain to you why I think this is really good. I think this is really good for the following reason. I think... So, oh wait, So, you can draw Luminous Lance Trooper, right? To guarantee a knight. To guarantee that she destroys. I think that's a solid combo. I like that a lot. Also, you can play Samurai, which kind of does the same thing. To an extent, but Samurai is more about just killing anything he wants to kill. Which is kind of cool. I think this is the cooler combo, though, overall. Because she has Rush, right? And she has a Knight. So, if you draw her... If you draw Samurai, you guarantee kill whatever you want. If you draw Lance Trooper, you also guarantee kill whatever you want because of the Knight. It costs 5. It sets the cost to 0. What you have to understand, chat, is it is extremely powerful to have good removal that doesn't cost evolution points, number 1. And it's extremely powerful to be able to draw from your deck, number 2. This does both things. It does both. And she doesn't die in the process. So if you play this on mana 5, you're in a great spot. On the other hand, if you play this on mana 3 on curve, you're also in a great spot. Because who doesn't have one ones on board, right? So let's say you play mana 3. You sacrifice your 1/1 into a unit and this just swings and kills it for free. Like, this card is amazing. This on curve is amazing because you almost always have something on the board as Soldier on mana 3. So you get to remove something for free. And number 2, you get to combo it. The only thing you have to consider is if you're playing her in Sword, you might want to consider not running things such as Royal Coachwoman, right? Because you want everything you have to have either Storm or Rush. So we're saying basically, you can run this guy. You can run both of these, right? But you probably don't really want to run anything that doesn't have Rush. Because this could break your hand. But even if you do run this and draw it, it's still good stats on board, right? You get to put a 3/2 with Rush on board plus a 1/2 on board. So you're not really even losing value there. I think this card is very, very good. Also something to consider, and this is something... It's also a tutor card, and never say never. When there are tutor cards in the game, let's say, for example, you're playing a Shinobi Squirrel deck. Well, it could be a fact that you're not really playing anything low cost. Maybe you're playing a Shinobi Squirrel deck that only runs buff cards. If that is the case, this is a tutor for your squirrel, right? So maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you just want to be able to tutor squirrels if you don't draw them fast enough. Maybe you're setting up a really long-term lethal. You get a 0-cost squirrel on board once you have the 4-cost that buffs everything you play on the board. 0-cost squirrel is nice. And it's really nice because of the following. Let me find, give me a sec. For example, let's say you're playing Ancestral Crown squirrels. Usually, there's very little time to get the value because it's countdown 4. But you can play that. You drop this down 0-cost squirrel into 2-cost squirrel, and your board pops off. So, right now, I think that's a meme deck, but just because it's a meme deck now doesn't mean that Tutor is not extremely powerful in card games. I played so many card games, and whenever you have Tutor effects, it's amazing. Yeah, I think this card has tons of potential. It's already very good, but there might be combos we're not seeing yet, or maybe there are going to be new cards that come out that we can also use it with in the future. Apollo plus Rose. Apollo costs 3. Doesn't work. But you can do Apollo into Rose, correct, on 6, and kill off anything on the board. Yes. All right. 2 more cards, I believe, right? Yeah, 2 more cards. So, I've not seen these cards yet. We have a Golden Abyss Follower. I already love it because it's a 4-mana 1/3, which means it might be control. I'm hoping it's control. Fanfare gain... X is the amount of followers on your board. Deal 2 damage to your... Okay, so I got scammed. But... I thought it was control, man. 4-mana 1/3. Oh, come on. So... At best, if you have, this is Abyss's version of Roach. If you have 4 units on board, which is pretty easy to get, like, you can just have double Amulet, right? Pop, pop. This is a 5/3 Storm for 4. It sucks. Does it count itself? Good question. I actually don't know. Does this count itself? That's a good question. It does. It should. It should, but it's tough with 4 mana. I don't think it's a bad card. Call me crazy. So, whenever you're playing aggro, Abyss, or one of the things you're trying to set up is a late game Cerberus with multiple units on the board, right? So you have a lot of ways to set that up. If you don't draw Cerberus, this is a very okay alternative to doing damage to face. Yeah, I don't hate it. I think it's okay. The deck has a lot of ways to generate units. You can have a lot of bats in your hand. Like, endgame, you can go like Ghost, Bat, Skeleton, boom, hit. Imagine like a really early game. On mana 4, you can hit for like 5 to face. Now, I think this card has a lot of potential. You guys forget that if you're playing Abyss, you've got a lot of ways to make skeletons. She generates skeletons in hand. Skeletons are 0 mana, don't forget that. So 0 mana skeletons on board. We have Ghost generation on her, for example. She makes a ghost and a bat. There's a lot of very cheap cards you can make. You just pop, 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 5 damage to face, 6 damage to face, right? Skeleton is 0 mana. Also, don't forget, that's if you don't even evolve him. Let's say you super evolve him. That's 9 damage to face. For what? If you have 4 skeletons in hand, you have 4 mana deal 9 to face with a super evolve. That's really good. Now, you guys are underestimating the card. I think it has a lot of potential. Doesn't mean I'm going to play because I don't really like playing aggro. Revived by Ghost Juggler. That is true, and it sucks because it's fanfare, so it doesn't actually pop off, unfortunately. So, Ghost Juggler doesn't work with it. Turn 9 with Olivia looks fine. It can be, absolutely. I can see this being into Olivia, sure. Yeah, good card. Good card. I'm not really excited for it, but good card. It is Bunny Girl. With the bunny ears. 2 mana. Do a lot of stuff. Frenzied Devotion. 2 PP gold Heavencraft spell. Restore 10 defense to your leader. Gain Crest Frenzied Devotion. Countdown 2. Deal 10 to your leader. I was going to say, well, how can you even do that? Oh, that's very interesting. It's very interesting. Heal 10 before you lose the game. Yeah, it buys you an extra turn, right? It buys you 1 turn. I think that's really cool. I like that. I'm a fan. Crests don't stack, by the way. Interesting. So if you have more than one of these in your hand, you can heal for like, let's say 17, and you only take 10. Still, it's kind of interesting. I like that. It's low tempo for sword. Well, you play this later in the game. Like this is like a mana 9 play, chat. You play this like before you have your win con on board. You have Lapis. So for example, Lapis into this, right? Or actually not really. Like Lapis into trade board, and then next turn this, because you have Lapis going into Griffin. Like if you're setting up a lethal on board, this is very good for Stormhaven. I don't know how good this is for like Wardhaven, but for Stormhaven, this is like amazing. Because Stormhaven, they set up lethals, right? They set up like 2 bird statues and a Lapis who died, and they're going to play Jean into lethal. Everything's dead. You can't stop it, especially if they have a 6-cost landmark on the board as well. Like, they just set everything up. It's a setup card. The problem is, while you're setting all that crap up, you're taking a lot of damage to face. And the way you stop that from happening is you just kill them before it happens, because doing, like, playing 8 mana worth of bird statues means you haven't done anything in tempo, and you're just going to die. Buying 1 extra turn is all you need. So, yeah, this in Stormhaven is insanely interesting. I'm not going to say broken yet, but... because the thing is, it can be a really, really bad top deck. And sometimes you just want to find your actual win conditions, not your delay conditions. And, like, imagine, like, how many do you run? If you run 2, what if you draw 2 of them? That's kind of awkward as well. But if you're playing stuff like Ruby, it's not that... it's a very cool card. It's not for the deck I want to play. I like to play heal to win. I like to play stall decks. This can be okay in a stall deck. The problem of this in a stall deck is the following. You take the damage after your turn ends, which means you can't out-heal the damage. If the damage happened at the start of your turn, cool. But because of how crests work, you take the damage and then immediately your opponent reacts. That means you will never have more than 10 HP at most, right? So, very cool card. Not quite for the deck I want to build, but I can see it being definitely playable. All right, last but not least, we have a Legendario from Portalcraft. Oh, God. I really don't want to be a Portal player, so I'm hoping it's mid, but it looks really cool. It looks like Viego, actually. Actually, the art is actually a little bit mid, isn't it? Fanfare. It's a 6-mana 5/4. Fanfare. Select an artifact follower in your hand that costs 5 or less and summon an exact copy of it. Oh, Super Evolve, give this follower, can attack 2 times per turn. No! Bro, wait, now they have 2 Alouettes? Now they can go 5 mana Alouette Evolve and then 6 mana play it for free? On curve? They can play Alouette 4/4 into this guy 4/4, and by the way, they can also Super Evolve him to ping you 2 times and remove your whole board? Bro! Bro! Wait, what? How do you even stop that? Not only do you go Alouette into 4/4, next turn, this guy into 4/4, and then he becomes Medusa, almost, by Super Evolving him. He literally becomes Medusa, and just kills 2 units by himself. What is the downside? What the hell is that? How do you stop that? Only if you can't kill him, by the way, he just kills you the next turn. Yeah, sure. How the hell do you stop that opener? What if they have Alouette into this? How do you beat that opener? How do you beat that? William? Bro, you've already taken Alouette play to 4/4. That's 3 damage to face from the passive. You wipe the board. They drop this down. Now they're doing another 3 damage to face. That's 6 damage to face. Then he attacks twice and clears your board. 8 damage to face. Okay, you play William. You're down to 12 HP just from those 2 cards. You're down to 12. And that's if they did nothing before that. And now they're going into Orcus turns, by the way. Now next turn, they can coin Orcus into Orcus. You can choose to evolve this or Orcus. You don't even need to evolve it, though. This is a fanfare effect. If it was evolve, summon the artifact, just like Alouette, fine. But this is a fanfare effect. You don't even need to super evolve. If you have 2 Orcus in hand, screw the evolve. Not necessary. This is crazy. It doesn't give artifacts? Yeah, so you're playing an artifact deck. You only need... Guys, you literally only need 1 beta. That's it. This is a beta deck. Oh, and by the way, it doesn't even have to be for beta. That's only one version of the deck. You can go for super stall if you wanted to. You can do this on alpha, right? And just have fun with it. Just stall the game forever. You know how good this is on alpha? Holy crap. Don't need to use an evolution. Drop this alpha with it. My god. Oh my god. Oh my. Ugh. Alright, it is what it is, chat. It is what it is. Hopefully, there's going to be enough ways to deal with this because, I mean, Portal's really strong as is. With this card, like, the one upside you have versus Portal is if they don't draw Alouette on curve, they have a weak opener. Now, they don't even care, dude. They have 6 Alouettes. That is the last card. You should. It's a good thing you made that the last card, Temps, because it would have set the tone for the rest of the the rest of the cards. Holy guacamole! I did not expect that.